When it comes to fighting, they are two of the most feared and revered characters. Would it be possible, nevertheless, for Oliveira to win a second consecutive fight against Michael Chandler at UFC 309? Without a doubt, it's possible. On the other side, many would be interested in seeing Holloway and Chandler battle for the BMF belt if Chandler were to win an exciting bout on Saturday. Actually, Chandler has already demanded that brawl. However, your opinion matters. How interested are you in witnessing Blessed Dubronk defend his BMF title? Instead of genuinely accepting the fight, Shavkat exposes Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman for acting like they were going to fight him on social media. All I hear are empty callouts, Shavkat tweeted first thing this morning. Complete lack of purpose. Do nothing. Just trying to impress the press and the crowd. With Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman. Coming up soon, Michael Chandler has Tom Aspinall fuming. In response to a recent request for his opinion on the rematch between Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira, English actor Tom Aspinall offered some intriguing commentary regarding Iron Mike. At UFC 309, Chandler will face off against Dubronk again in 2021. Oliveira returned to finish him in the second round. Chandler, a former Bellator champion, has a losing record in the octagon, but his confrontational and entertaining style has been captivating UFC fans. This bout will be his sixth under the UFC banner. For instance, Aspinall made this comment about Chandler when discussing the forthcoming fight with UFC on TNT Sports. Particularly Michael Chandler must rank among the most infuriating fighters ever to coach. In a fight, his strategy is totally irrelevant. I mean, he's fearless. It's as if he's engaged in a street brawl while wearing protective gear. Spectating it is a delight. He fought with unbridled aggression and came dangerously near to winning this. Oh my! Aggression and athleticism are his weapons in battle. Despite his obvious technical acumen, he opts not to utilize it in any way. It would be intriguing to hear Chandler's coach's perspective on this matter, but it is highly unlikely that they do. Like Justin Gaethje, another walking highlight reel, Chandler isn't exactly known for utilizing his skills as a decorated former NCAA Division I wrestler in fights. Putting that aside, if Chandler suffers a devastating loss at UFC 309, some may wonder if he needed to have used more strategy during his time in the UFC. If he loses again, he will no longer be in the title hunt, and the UFC may seek out a new opponent for Conor McGregor. We can talk about Jon Jones' Instagram live answer to haters now. Some mixed martial arts fans and commentators have continued to criticize Jon Jones for his remarks against Tom Aspinall, which have further strengthened the notion that he is trying to avoid fighting the interim heavyweight champion. It should come as no surprise that Bones stands by every word he has spoken. Despite Jones's repeated denials of interest in a battle with Aspinall, the champion has lately analyzed the promising young fighter's background. Apart from that, Jones stated that he would rather fight Alex Pineda than Aspinall. Assuming he opts to continue competing after UFC 309, anger that he's trying to avoid Aspinall has only grown in response to those remarks as mentioned. Jones, who has a divisive fan base, recently responded to someone calling her a duck during an Instagram live session with this: "But if Jones wins UFC 309 vs Miocic, will he truly want to retire with the ducking claim looming over his legacy?" Even if he keeps demanding a showdown, the Britishman has never seriously denied that Jones is a formidable boxer. For example, this is what Aspinall said of Jones' octagonal skills on the TNT show. "To start, when we speak about Jon Jones, we're talking about one of the greatest minds in mixed martial arts history. Do you understand? I must admit, he has my respect. In stature, he stands at an impressive 6 feet 4 inches. Ultimately, it appears like Aspinall has no plans to face either Miocic or Jones after UFC 309. This was also said by the formidable heavyweight. I'm excited to go up close and personal and watch these guys in their latter years in the game, even though it is a bit of a retirement party. Next weekend, we will witness the outcome. Jones will likely retire from boxing after a close victory with Miocic, or more likely a loss. However, your opinion matters. Will Bones be eliminated from the contest if Miocic harms or tests Jones during their bout? In a late-night Twitter tirade last night, Jon Jones addressed Magomedov and his fans, claims that he is avoiding Tom Aspinall. Sounds like someone frightening a big Tom. Magomedov Ankalaev tweeted, "My friend, you won't become a legend due to your mad jealousy," Jon Jones retorted. "Push yourself further, hate less. Desire to sincerely defame me? Get a few of my records broken first. All right, let's begin." To further suggest that Jon Jones was using steroids, Magomedov swiftly reacted with a syringe gif. A response from Jon Jones to the fans read, "It's an honor to be so desired. As one of the most accomplished mixed martial arts fighters of all time, I find myself over here taking obscenities hurled at me in elementary school. On a certain day I will long for this." A supporter said, "Jon, if you were in Tom's shoes, what would you do? Because the current champion is unwilling to fight him. He is currently serving as an interim champion. The way stories just seem to materialize is absolutely mind-boggling," Jon remarked. "Even before the interim title contest, Stipe and I were scheduled to fight. You all simply make stuff up and act it out as if it were genuine. Despite what he said about me today, my legacy would remain unaffected by a fight or victory. I realize this is hard for many of you to understand. I would be exactly where I am right now if that happened. Most outstanding performer. If he ends up being the greatest heavyweight of all time, though, beating him when he was young would look fantastic on your resume, Jon. Call me a duck might make sense if he becomes the greatest of all time," Jon Jones responded. Present moment? Much too soon. I am admonishing him. Construct a profession comparable to mine? To win all 5? Not too easy, is that 17? I have my doubts. Jon Jones was asked a brilliant question by an MMA reporter. If you and Tom were to confront Shogun, what would make you different, Jon? Hey, weren't you also a young, enthusiastic, and hungry man whose CV was missing prominent names when it happened? Would you be surprised if Jon retaliated with a larger name if Shogun acted like to you? Shogun did not have 16 championship defenses. Do you agree with Jon Jones that he isn't trying to avoid Tom Aspinall? Post a comment telling us what you think. Next up, Carlos Prates retaliates against the mixed martial arts community. Claims that the fight's conclusion was suspicious began circulating shortly after Carlos Prates defeated Neil Magny in a walk-off knockout at UFC Vegas. Prates has an offer for you if you are among those who believe Magny might have jumped. You may recall that Prates knocked Magny out in the first round using a left punch if you saw the bout on Saturday. The fight ended unexpectedly and quickly, and it didn't appear like Prates had connected, thus it was shocking to see in real time. The blow seemed to strike Magny in the temple, though, according to slowmotionreplay.at. The press conference that followed the bout, reporters wanted to know Prates' thoughts on the conspiracy theories that were circulating online. I propose they meet here so I can punch him in the head before they can talk. Remember when I had that battle with Li Jingliang? Even the first knockdown was the same. You know what? I knocked him down with a blow to the head. Neil Magny was therefore probably the same. I put in a lot of time at the cage. At least 4 times a week I honed my boxing skills. And you know what? No matter where or how I punch you, my hand is always there. The notion that Magny would take a dip is peculiar given that his record features welterweight division heavyweights and that he has previously either defeated or gone the distance with numerous notable strikers. Regardless of the rumors, Prates has won all 4 of his fights in the UFC so far, and next week he should be ranked among the top 15 welterweights. The Brazilian then demanded a showdown with Bro when asked who he would like to face next. Honestly, I think the best option would be against Jack Della Maddalena, but you have the rank he claimed. I would rank him as number 4. I will likely turn 15 the following Tuesday, thus I am uncertain as to whether he will agree to the fight. As I mentioned earlier this week, I need to start acting rationally and not emotionally. Now I'm going to consult with my teammates to see which option is superior. Make smart decisions on when to fight. And with JDM ranked at 4, it appears like a long chance, but that battle has all the makings of a must-see. However, are you interested in witnessing that confrontation, and do you think it could happen soon? Who would you expect to come out holding a placard if it were to fall? A new video has surfaced online featuring Dylan Dennis, Nina Drama, and Alex Pinay engaging in some light sparring. Get this clip here. Absolutely not. It dissatisfies me. You're so self-indulgent, man. What, you desire this? It is strange. I agree, of course. Of course, feel free. All the Ninas can count on Alex to take care of it. Alex got it from me. Hey there, Ninas. Next up, the one championship contested by UFC fighter Bash. Rainier de Ruyter was recently touted by One Championship as one of their finest fighters. When de Ruyter made his UFC debut on Saturday, he cautioned fighters against signing with One. By early 2022, de Ruyter had won the middleweight and light heavyweight titles for One, but if you only watch mixed martial arts on the UFC, you might not have heard of him. However, once Anatoly Malikin won those belts, de Ruyter fulfilled his One contract. The renowned grappler submitted Jared Mearshad, a fellow BJJ black belt, in the third round of UFC Vegas 100. After his major win, RDR spoke to the media and said this regarding One. The past 2 years have been difficult. It hasn't been pleasant to go through all the trouble that my family and I had merely to get into disagreements. Since I've also had several successful years at One, it's hard for me to speak poorly of it. They were nice to me at first, but then things have gotten worse in the past few years. I feel obligated to help out my fellow combatants. Do not sign with just One Championship. It's as easy as that. Not at all. You won't find anything there. Conflicts do not arise. It's an incorrect move on your part. It would be a huge error on your part to sign there. Many members of the mixed martial arts MMA scene took to social media to respond to the reader's comments as expected. That was a portion of it. The worldwide mismanagement of mixed martial arts is an embarrassment. The owners amass vast fortunes at the expense of the fighters who receive nothing in return. The UFC is structured, at least when it comes to stealing. Why is that flawed? For what reason wouldn't they arrange conflicts? Give him a crack at the title, Hunter. Ditch the MMA promotion if you're into it. That changes things if you combine kickboxing with Muay Thai. To be honest, it's not very nice to hear. Bankruptcy tales are heard. The inclusion of BJJ matches in the cards is entertaining, and I enjoy their format. It appears that One was almost there, but then started fumbling and things aren't looking good anymore. What a waste of a great idea. The business world needs more serious rivals like them. Aside from all the conversation about One, de Ruyter was also asked to choose his next opponent in the UFC. Without a doubt, the former One champion went ahead and called out Boers. Out, why not? When it comes to grappling, that would be a great matchup. Sure, I could get behind that. While I applaud your ambition, the likelihood of that bout taking place soon is quite low considering RDR is a rookie in the UFC. Look at Stipe Miocic's fight with Francis Ngannou, which he declined. Now, there might be demands for a rematch between Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou after UFC 309. Even though Ngannou is now a part of the PFL, the heavyweights still have a record of victories over each other. Do not anticipate the legend to confront the Predator, even if Miocic were to reclaim the UFC heavyweight belt by defeating Jones next weekend. During their first encounter in 2018, Miocic successfully defended his heavyweight belt by utilizing his wrestling skills. Ngannou was the other fighter. However, Ngannou displayed his world-class power in their rematch 3 years later, knocking Miocic out in the second round. Miocic was asked about his past fights with Ngannou and the fact that the fearsome slugger has since departed the UFC when speaking with MMA Fighting ahead of UFC 309. I was disappointed because I was hoping for a rubber match, but I can't deny that he's improved his situation for his family and himself. He doesn't have my ire, he's thriving. While acknowledging that the rubber bout is over, the Ohio boxer did say that he knows it. I can handle releasing things, very well. I hope the best for him, despite my desire to fight him. Therefore it remains, it's just the two of us. It will remain that way. Regrettably, he managed to get the last one. It wouldn't matter if Ngannou could fight for the UFC again if Dana White insisted on working with the Predator again. He has already stated it multiple times. Actually, White reiterated that claim not long ago. However, your opinion matters, assuming Miocic overcomes Jones. Is the prospect of a third confrontation with Ngannou going to keep you up at night? And what about the rarity of a Jones vs. Ngannou bout? Allegedly, Nick Diaz's girlfriend Kayla has spoken out about Nick's present state of mind, stating that he needs to seek help before things become worse. Is this situation worse than expected? She wrote in an Instagram message she sent to Nick. Does Kayla's cries for help on social media represent her final-ditch effort to save Nick from the abuse? Is she looking for attention so badly? Leave a comment telling us what you think.